cause in the jungle we unite in tripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who got 'em, who rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes, then you let the city know you rock 'em. Yeah, we got 'em, yeah, we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em. Single bottle, never stop it. To the beast of feasting on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes? Flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who day we ignite in
Welcome to Bengals and Brews. I am Del Waltman, joined by Pork Chop, joined by Greg. Yeah, we're here. It's not fun. Stayed up late again. They got that nice late game tease that we could pull one out and get a big win. And you know, the season's not over at that point if you can do it. But
I also stayed up late.
We came out flat after having 10 days before this game to come out flat. It was like a mini bye. But hey, Zach Taylor says we're still in it. You know, this bye week will come out and be right. No, we won't. Play the Steelers. They look like an absolute unit. Nothing's going to change because the Bengals refuse to make changes to, number one, what they do in the front office and acquiring talent, keeping talent, doing what they need to do to surround a guy like Joe Burrow that they were gifted with. And, you know, here we are, man. We're 4-7 headed into the bye week, and the bye week might beat us too.
I believe so.
You know, I believe, at least we might suffer a loss this upcoming bye week, but, you know, me being Mr. Positive, got nothing to say, so I'm going to be silent. No, I'm just kidding. I'll talk.
I don't know.
I'm talking. No, I'm talking. But you know what? I'm never going to stay silent by Midwest Best Barbecue, 50 West Beer, and the Chop Shop T-shirt. Proud sponsors of this show. That is something never to get down about, everybody.
Yeah, and also thanks for Bengals for, you know, making it so that the T-shirts just fly off the fucking shelves at the Chop Shop. People can't wait to get that new fucking Bengals gear.
Well, I can't wait to get the one I ordered, and I think people will like it.
Profits are, we're going to be like kind of like twins at the tailgate. They'll have to, because I'm fucking putting my bitch out there fully, Dale. It's on my outside layer when I go down.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll wear it there, but I might.
I'm wearing that bitch right up in there, and I wish I sat with Greg.
So the shirt is Mike Brown as a clown.
Right. Yes. It's in the shop. Two
the
different
Chop Shop
versions.
May not last long because I can imagine that'll be one that'll piss him off, but
nah.
Oh, I don't know, man. He'll probably order
It's
one.
not the first time. It'd been like, I'll wear a bag over my head. How about that?
You want me to send one down to the stadium for him?
With Mike Brown's name on it.
Yeah, that's right. I can mail
it.
No,
send him
your own T-shirt, brother.
Right.
Send him a quilt. Hey, Chop, send him a quilt. So in case if he gets cold outside during practice, he can just wear the quilt or something.
Yeah,
I'll talk to my mom about that one. I don't do a quilt. That's my mom, and that takes like a year. She takes her time doing it.
We don't have the time. Oh.
That's above Chop's expertise there. But we'll start with some of the stuff in the chat, let you guys vent some things here, and just like we do. And I obviously have on Twitter and everywhere else. But Strangers started off with a who day. It's time for an office overhaul. Top of my list is Tobin. I can't disagree with that. I just feel like the problem is the family. Like, and the family is Mike Brown, the Blackburns, and basically Duke Tobin. They've just adopted him. Yeah. He's like the adopted little brother that probably isn't going anywhere as much as he should. And, you know, you got to get a different set of eyes in there. It's the same reason I think, you know, Lou, maybe Zach, maybe you just fire them all because maybe you need a reset because there's no reason to be wasting the talent of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Trey Hendrickson and all these guys. Are just
when the reset needs to happen in management, in the front office. That's the reset we need. It's not necessarily that's where it needs to start, but like Stranger's not wrong because Tobin, because there ain't no goddamn way anybody named Brown or Blackburn's leaving. They're not going to fire themselves. Be nice.
Yeah, these are disappointing times right now. Can't deny this. How can you deny this? Just disappointing times. You know, I mean, something's got to give. Last year we said this is the biggest offseason. It seems like every year is the biggest offseason last couple of years. What's up, Chris? What's up, Tina? But yeah, I mean, something has got to give. I am just dreading following Adam Schefter and something popping up my phone and say Burrow asked for a trade. That is the biggest fear I have that's going to happen. Pray to God I'm wrong.
The spiteful me says, I hope the fuck he does. Because I'm fucking spiteful, man, to the organization right now.
But as a fan of this team, that's the last thing we want. Because
Chop, I get what you're saying.
I understand exactly what.
No, Chop, I get what you're saying, Chop. Yeah, but
well, that's the fear, right? Because at what point does he say, "Hey, man, I'm giving everything I can," and how many of you motherfuckers around here, all throughout this organization, don't give a shit?
Yeah.
That's scary. Foxy says fire the chain guys too. Foxy's fired. You're fired.
No, not you, Foxy. Foxy, we love you.
Chain guys, it's Foxy.
Foxy, we love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and seeing Burrow so sad. That's what.
Well, my question to you guys: you look at Chase in his interview. He keeps saying, "Ask the coaches," and he even said that's what we pay Money Mac the big not Money Mac Evan the big bucks for. My question to you is: he doesn't have his contract. What if he says, "I'm not signing anything"?
Well,
the artist formerly known as Money, I mean, he's a bottom 5 in field goal percentage at like 71%, and he missed 2 that could have taken the lead. Who knows? Maybe they still score, maybe they don't, whatever. But you didn't even have a lead, and you kept giving them good field positions by missing a 48-yarder and a 51-yarder. I had no faith in either of those kicks because he's done nothing this season to make us have any faith in him right now. And I'm sorry, but there's a way out of his contract after this year, and hey, maybe he goes on and he's great somewhere else. But if this is the performance you're going to get, I think it was Jay Morrison that he's got the rest of this year basically to prove that he deserves to keep that contract because there's so many holes. And now, will they fill them? Probably not. But there's so many holes, you know what I mean? You can't put money on a kicker. That's one of the worst in the league.
Right.
Right.
Like, how can you do that?
And for Zach Taylor, to say something like, oh, man, we're not going to make any big changes. That's not necessary. That's just, we're not going to hit the panic button. I'm like, shout out to Zach, good person. I'm glad for what he's done, but you got to do something.
You got to consider the head coaching change, right? Especially, and we talked about this the past couple of weeks.
Not so much Zach, but
is he like, no, man, if Lou goes somewhere, no, Lou cannot be fired. Okay, well, if you feel that strongly about it, you both can go.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying
at some point. Because I mean, the offense, does pretty well overall. There's still some frustrating things, and they turtle up in big moments. Everyone on every side of the ball seems to turtle up this season in big moments. I do want to get to Dustin's super chat here. Says we already kind of dove into the front office on Twitter, and Paul Daner said a few weeks back, I'm finally out on the Taylor experience. We'll dive deep, and I'm sure, we'll dive deeper on all of this with Zach Taylor. But it's kind of what we just started talking about there, and it's like, I guess we can kick it to you, Chop, because I don't know. Do I expect them to fire Zach Taylor, who took them to a Super Bowl and an AFC championship in back-to-back years, even though that's now been 2 or 3 years? Do I expect them to do it? No. But should it be in consideration? Absolutely, because you got to reevaluate everything when it's this bad, right? And find out the problem. And there should be a lot of conversations with your top players. And if they think Zach's lost this locker room or the things that Zach doesn't help put them in position, because I'm not giving anyone else a pass, front office, anybody. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you talk to the players, the Jamar Chases, the Joe Burrows, the Orlando Browns, the Teddy Karras, and they say, you know what? We don't feel that confident in Zach anymore. We think that things have gone downhill and, he's lost the locker room or this, that, and the other. Then at that point, but those are conversations we're not going to be privy to really have that answer. But I mean, if you're not doing that, you're doing a disservice, right?
Yes.
Because I'm sorry, do you want to give a quarterback all that power like Aaron Rodgers kind of we feel like had with the Jets and places? Probably not. But at the same point in time, you want input from them. You want to know their thoughts on this because, hey, you got 250 million reasons to ask Joe Burrow his thoughts.
275.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Shitload of money.
It's astronomical. But I don't know, man. It's a horrible – I mean, I'm done with the excuses. You know what I'm saying? And as far as Zach Taylor goes, like people at work too are like, Zach Taylor needs fired. And I'm like, I'm not saying don't, right? Although I don't feel that that's the change that we need. I feel like Zach Taylor's out there calling an offense, putting up 30 points a fucking game. You know what I mean? So I think that as far as his head coaching skills, managing the defensive coordinator, maybe that's an issue, but I think the defensive coordinator needs to be the first one on the chopping block. And I also think Frank Pollock needs to be on the chopping block. Someone had put that in the comments, Ryan Sparks, I think, or somebody.
Yeah, probably still getting there. I'm trying to catch up and at least post everything.
But I don't know, man. They're not. Well, here's the deal. Zach Taylor should have doubled down and bought more land in Cincinnati because he sure enough fuck ain't going nowhere. Bengals aren't going to get rid of Zach Taylor. He's if anything, he's a yes man. And the reason I say that now is because he hasn't taken any accountability for what the fuck is going on this season. If you ask me, I haven't seen Zach Taylor come up and say we fucking suck and we got to get better. And I see other teams do that when they, take accountability. And Evan McPherson's the only one I saw take accountability, and that was back when they fucking Ryan Rico held the punt flat against the ground against the Patriots?
Yeah, he didn't even talk to the media yesterday. So
he what?
He didn't talk to the media yesterday.
I don't fucking blame him. He shouldn't talk to anybody. He should go in that goddamn. You're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Evan McPherson might need to go to that dark room. I don't have any confidence in him. And for Zach Taylor to say he does have confidence in him, when literally against the fucking Ravens, you had a 51-yard field goal and you went for it on 4th down. That tells me more than what you're saying in the press conference. You don't have faith in him. I don't know what this team could do to make me happy right now. If they called me right now and said, "Season tickets are free next year," I wouldn't be super happy. I'd take it, though.
So here with Ryan, cool thing is if we fire everyone, we'll start over with a no-name coach. They don't pay to get a Ben Johnson or any of the top players. Maybe not, right? Because it was Cincy James. And these are projected values. I don't know if we'll know what people actually get paid, but Dan Pitcher's first year as an offense coordinator, his estimated compensation is $1.5 million, which ranks 9th in the NFL. And that's what the head coach is an offensive coordinator. I can flip over to the defensive side, I think, and give you those numbers here in a minute. But I think we're we're fairly highly up there for like all of our coaches that we pay. And it surprised me. And who knows how accurate these are. It was updated November 15th, 2024. Estimated data from Pro Football Network and NFL.com. I don't know. This is on frontofficesports.com for anybody that wants to check it out and look into that more. But, I don't know. You also just can't stick with the same thing, and that's why I especially say with the defense, right, and Lou Anarumo, because at what point do you need a new scheme? Do you need a new set of eyes? And if he's part of the evaluation, well, we needed it in week 3. And week 5,
it's too late for that, so that's why I say now.
Right. But, we'll get Derek's thoughts while I kind of scroll through the chat, and, it's tough, man. It's hard to keep up with everything right now. I apologize to people. We're just kind of I don't have anything really prepared for the show. It's we're going to talk about shit and go from there.
You know what's going to pin right on the head right there. We're going to literally talk about shit. I don't know what the fuck went on last night, but that was not Bengals football. I don't know.
How's your hand?
It's feeling a little better.
Yeah.
I have never gotten that mad at a football game. Well, maybe back in the Dalton era, but I have never gotten that mad to where I wanted to, I just needed to release my anger somehow. And I don't know. I shouldn't let them do this to me.
Boom. I say same thing.
Help me get out of this mindset because I am in a funk. I'm hungover. I feel like shit. And I've had to come into work today and deal with all the bullshit. Oh, the Bengals are bungling. Yep, they are.
I mean, what do we say at this point?
What do you say?
We got no defense. I mean, I'm not saying the team, but yeah, the team has no defense. And now the fans, we don't either. When people come at us and talk shit, what do we say?
So I looked this up for head coaches. It's a different site. It's 137pm.com. But and I think these numbers are out there for what a head coach makes for anybody else that wants to look it up. I think it's more than just on this site. Zach makes $6 million a year. That's the 10th highest paid coach in the NFL. Now, there's a lot of coaching turnover is probably why a lot of these guys don't get paid. So anytime you get any extension and extended it, I'm sure it goes up. But to act like we won't pay these guys and they won't have job security, I just can't get on board with that. I think we will. And you never know if you don't try to get – and why wouldn't someone want to come in here and have a Joe Burrow? Like Ben Johnson, the Lions offense coordinator, like if you really wanted to go after him, why wouldn't he want to come in here and work with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase at the end of the day?
Risk versus reward, Dale. Joe Burrow, Mike Brown. Joe Burrow, Mike Brown. I mean, which way does the scale tip? I mean, coaches got to be real fucking like
I get
really want to play with Joe Burrow. I mean, to put up with the ownership that's going to have here, come over here, Mr. Vape. Somebody brought up in the comments here, Mike Vrabel. Come over here, Mike Vrabel. Also, tie your arm behind your back and coach with one hand.
Well, and would they want Mike Vrabel because he'd probably fucking give some pushback because he's not a guy that's not going to give his fucking opinion when you're not doing the shit that he thinks needs done to be a winner.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason they landed with Anarumo in the first place. They went through how many coaches before they landed with Anarumo?
Jack Del Rio, the Florida.
Yeah,
DC.
and it was because they didn't agree with how they wanted to do things.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you know exactly. I mean, it's just I'm at a loss for words right now. Like you said, Derek. I mean, Derek, here's a question I have for you. Which game was more painful, that or the Ravens home game? Well, both Ravens games, but the Ravens home game, man. Which one was more painful?
Honestly, this one. Because this one hurt.
We had more than one chance. Yeah.
No,
I think
don't know.
Personally, I think
know.
they broke. I think they broke me. It was neither. It wasn't the home Ravens game, and it wasn't this game. It was that last Ravens game. That one broke me, guys. I just saw everything.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's 400 and some yards, Jamar Chase 300, and you still could not. After having a 21-7 lead, you completely collapsed the moment that anything went wrong, and they collapsed as a team. So many people collapsed, and so for me, it was that one. So while I thought we could still win that game last night, and then we were getting destroyed, coming out flat, was pathetic. So, even when we were coming back, I'm like, I still think we lose this game because this is what we do.
Yeah.
We'll make it close, and we'll find a way.
They said in the it might have been in the pregame, and correct me if I'm wrong, but opponent or teams that are one score lead or one score, the exact stack, but other teams are 63-3, and then the Bengals were like 0-3 on something.
Hey, you're right.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stats this year with should have won with these stats and should have won with this lead or should have won with this everything, and it's just bad teams finding ways to lose, and we continue to do that. And we can't say like, hey, the offense didn't have chances because they had plenty of them, and Evan McPherson, man, 2 missed kicks again. It's bad. We kind of already talked about him, so I'm not going to continue to pile on him because there's plenty of blame to go around. Cam Taylor-Britt, man, he ended up getting benched. DJ Turner looked great. That is one thing as far as the positive, that there's not much positive. But I will say, was DJ Turner had a 76.5 coverage grade, so he looks like a guy for your future still. Now, it sucks he's probably out for the season with a collarbone or whatever they ended up calling it, but he definitely fucked up his shoulder area. And then also the other guy who had to come in, who was a 5th-round pick, but we talked about had first-round grades the year prior, was Josh Newton. And he had a 74.7 coverage grade. He was the 2nd highest rated defender on the team. So Josh Newton came in and stepped up and made great plays. And even when they caught the ball on him, he had good coverage. So, they showed some flashes of some guys in the secondary. Now just imagine if we had a pass rush.
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's still the biggest issue. And we thought that prior to the season, and they didn't ever address it. They didn't address it in season with trade deadline. They just refused to do things that we, as dumbass fucking fans, See. We're all a bunch of dumbasses, right? Because they're way smarter than us.
Yeah.
No ball. And then we find out with Sam Hubbard that he was supposed to get surgery in the summer, but if he got that surgery, he would have missed the season. At first, I said to myself, wow, you have to admire the guy for playing hurt in the set. But then you're like, well, but that's when you should have signed somebody knowing he was playing hurt through the whole season.
Yeah, exactly. And you tried to claim Yannick Ngakoue. You could have had him that whole time as an extra pass rusher. And here's the worst part of that with the Hubbard thing to me. So they knew he was hurt. They knew he's struggling, especially early in the season. And that's when they were putting him out there for 80% of the fucking snaps.
Yeah, with Miles Murphy being out.
I know Murphy was out, but yeah, why didn't you get someone else? They weren't giving Cedric Johnson's opportunities. They brought in KJ Henry, and he was getting 2 or 3 snaps a game. Then he got claimed by, I think, the Cowboys.
2-year deal.
Like, it's just asinine and fucking ridiculous, the things they do. That is just dumb shit. But I want to get to this comment from Dustin as well, because he says, Bill Simmons, I know that's a Boston guy, Celtic guy.
Oh, yeah.
NBA guy, but I mean, he's got connections. And podcast host of The Ringer, he said Belichick would be very interested in Cincinnati. And he knows Bill well, just saying. I think Bill will probably be looking at that Cowboys job, and I think they'll really try to get him in there. But why not, right? If you're saying you want Vrabel, who's Vrabel's coaching tree and played under? Bill Belichick. Get Bill Belichick. And you think Bill Belichick ain't going to tell Mike Brown to go fuck himself? He wants to win another fucking Super Bowl?
Originally, I would not be on the Bill Belichick train, but now I'm on for any fucking thing.
That's where we're at.
Give a fuck, man. Like, if I woke up today and I read a Twitter thing saying that Lou Anarumo was fired and Greg Luther is our new defensive coordinator, I'd have been okay with it.
You sure about that?
Yep. I'd have been all right. Yeah, Greg.
Well, here's what I would have done. Even though
I didn't want them to show me that they realize something's wrong, some accountability.
I'll tell you one thing, Chop, I would not do as defensive coordinator, even though, thank God, what's his name? Herbert overthrew him. 3rd and 16, playing a prevent.
Did it again. Fresh and 3.
Giving Herbert all the time in the world. Thank God
He was wide open, too.
He was wide open. Why are we doing this? Blitz, look what they were doing us at the end, even when broke through the Hail Mary. Blitz the hell out of Burrow so he doesn't have time for a big play.
Yeah, because he had T wide open on the 3rd down there, too.
Well, the Chargers did a smart play. They acted like they were dropping back, but then they went and blitzed. And T, if he just had a half a second, T was wide open.
Yeah, Marshall says about the Bill Belichick, he'll want all the power to make moves, which is 100% why I don't think the Bengals would ever make a phone call to him. That's part of the biggest problem is their unwillingness to step back as a family and let football people run a football franchise.
But in all fairness, though, Jerry Jones is not the one to just let someone take over either. Just stay on that, too.
That's fair.
Also, Ohio Game Talks, it's when they announce the defense here, Sam Hubbard's always the one that comes out last. And they're always like, Cincinnati's own Sam Hubbard. So I tell you the truth, I believe that's another reason to hang on to Sam is because he's the hometown hero.
Well, I mean, even my wife said, pretty much Sam should go. And you guys all know how much she loves Sam Hubbard.
Yeah.
She said that last week. So, I mean, he's older. He's had a lot of injuries here lately. And his play on the field is terrible. He was our lowest graded player last night with a 34.9 PFF grade. And you know what he's known for? Well, at least he's a good run defender, right?
Yeah.
29.4 PFF run defense grade for Sam Hubbard last night. What are we doing? Why is he out there? Why is he out there for half the snaps at this point? He provides nothing. Give me Cedric Johnson, the rookie. We saw in some younger guys were getting their opportunity, like Josh Newton. These guys got fire. They got passion. They want to prove themselves in this league. What's it fucking hurt at this point to put more of them guys out there?
Miles Murphy showed signs yesterday. Just let him have control of, like you said, let him have control of the majority of the snaps right now.
Jordan Battle's still getting less snaps than Von Bell. Geno Stone's still getting all the snaps at his safety spot. Give me Tyson Anderson. Give me Dejon. I don't give a fuck. Give me anybody back there. You got to try something. Geno Stone's awful, flat out.
Yeah, he's terrible.
It's trash.
Jerome is not he's not wrong. Sam's going to retire Bengal. And
hopefully he retires this year.
They'll fucking move his ass right from player into coach. They'll somehow keep him there.
Dale, contract question. Does he have 1 year left?
Yeah, and they can save. And that's the thing. That's why I said I've been saying at worst he's going to have to renegotiate, because if they just keep him here and pay him what's on his contract, it's like $10.5 million for next year. Why the fuck would I pay Sam Hubbard $10.5 million next year? No. Now you'd have a little bit of a dead cap hit, but I think you save it like $8.5 to $9 million by cutting him. That's a lot of fucking money against the cap to save for a guy who's giving you next to nothing out on the football field right now.
M says he wants us to talk, or he or she, I don't know. M can go, I don't know. It's M.
What do you identify as?
Talk about Joe getting killed last night. Jesus Christ, man.
Ugh.
Joe was getting, how many sacks did they have?
3 or 4.
And then the hits though, even that wasn't
3 or 4 sacks.
Well, it's the hits. It's not always the sacks, it's the hits. And he got hit a lot, and he got hit hard a lot.
That last one, oof.
Yeah, and he wasn't the same after that last hit that he took kind of to almost like the rib area.
No.
Or wherever it was. Like, he was not quite the same after that. I think he ended the game like 4 for 14 or something, somebody said.
He only got sacked twice.
What?
Yeah, it was the hits. It was the hits. Yeah, there was ones he was completing down the field, but getting the shit knocked out of him. Plus, there were some late hits, which they called, but he got the shit knocked out of him. So, he got fucking hit. He got leveled, and he got beat up. And you know what? He's been getting beat up for a few weeks at a time. And opposing players are going to keep doing this till somebody steps in and fucking goes after him.
Yep.
Pastime for that.
And I want to go in there and say about Trey Hendrickson. I mean, Taylor's trying to calm him down. You just look at the look on his face. I mean, Jermaine Pratt, he's like yelling at everybody. People are trying to calm him down. You can just tell it's not. That locker room is probably not good right now. It's just
It's not time to calm down. I would be fucking
exactly. I'd be pissed off too. I'm happy those two are just acting. This is not
Jermaine
what
Pratt was pissed off on the sideline last night. He was yelling at everybody. So maybe, to tell you the truth, hopefully that shit did carry in the locker room, because the worst thing I want is to go in that locker room and those motherfuckers are all sitting around kumbayaing when this bullshit's going on. They need to speak up.
Well, not to pile on this guy, but I guess I'm going to. Somebody shared that picture, and I shared it with you guys. The McPherson's still on the field like 5 minutes after the game, chatting it up with someone. And it's like, listen, I know they all go out there and they talk to people. They got people they want to see, this, that, and the other. That's not a good look. I'm not going to say that I'm going to kill him for that. But at the same point in time, that's not a good look after you just missed 2 fourth-quarter kicks and you've been atrocious this season. Honestly, and I'd be like, but maybe it's just me personally. I would be so pissed off. I'd have went to the fucking locker room. I wouldn't be out there. I wouldn't be in the mood to go talk to my buddies from other teams.
So let's do this. We're talking about Burrow getting hit. Burrow was pressured 50% of the game. Herbert 11%.
If you're getting a pressure rate of 50%, that's
messed up.
That is awful. And that's what I mean. Zach just like, well, he holds the ball and he does. Yeah. No, Zach, you got 2 fucking interior offensive linemen at guard that should be working at fucking McDonald's, if anywhere.
Yeah, no, Volson.
No offense to the McDonald's workers, because they probably fuck that up too. You guys do a better job than them. So I
had McDonald's today. They did a great job, by the way.
Did you have that chicken Big Mac?
No, I did not yet. I've heard mixed reviews. I just get the cheeseburgers.
I've had it. It's all right.
Better than the Krabby Patty?
No, the Krabby Patty's elite.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Krabby Patty is fucking like
Big Mac sauce on
a deluxe burger, and then they put Big Mac sauce on it.
They do, Chop, but I still like it.
I'll bet you the Krabby Patty really isn't beef at all. I've never seen a fucking cow in Bikini Bottom. There's no cow in Bikini Bottom.
I never tried the pineapple milkshake, though. That didn't interest me, though.
It was. Those were actually really good.
Okay.
All right, back to fire, everybody. So
I kind of like the fuck Wendy's talk better.
Yeah, me too.
Well, fuck you, Chop. You're gonna make me hungry.
I know.
I mean, like a rotisserie chicken for dinner. That don't sound near as good as fucking Wendy's and everything else.
You know what I was thinking when I was this morning? I got home. I was taking a shit, man. When I was sitting there taking a shit, and I was looking at the goddamn Twitter, I was thinking, "Goddamn, I wish my parents would have had me born in Kansas City or something. Why the fuck can't I be born in a town where I can have something nice?" I'm just so like disappointed with this team, man. It's really, I don't know. I texted you guys last night or something.
Dedicated to this fucking team.
What's that?
I got a whole arm dedicated to this team.
Well, that's your own stupidity. I don't love anything enough to tattoo my fucking
Derek,
on my
you
body.
jinxed the season with that tat.
Yeah,
but I want to cut my fucking arm off.
Guys.
Hey, when you do, take it down to fucking Paycor Stadium and smack the shit out of Mike Brown with it.
There's a lot of people with just pure blackout tattoos. You could just black it all out, you know.
Does the beer need to go? Does the beer need to go?
No, why?
I don't know, man. It's been bringing bad luck lately.
Because the Bengals are
the team sucks. It has nothing to do with anything that any of us have done. The team sucks. The defense coordinator sucks. Fire everybody. Zach lost the locker room. He sucks. The front office sucks. Duke Tobin sucks. Fire everybody. Fire them all. Fuck it. Let them go. Fucking start over. Reset. Pray to God Joe Burrow will stay through it because that's all you can do.
I honestly think that he will, but I wouldn't fucking blame him at all. I don't think that Jamar leaves either because I think he'll stay with his boy Joe and they'll tough it out together. But is there a scenario where Jamar holds out and just doesn't even play next season? I can also see that going on.
Sure. $40 million a year he's going to be asking for. I have no doubt in my mind he'll be asking for that.
But we can't change ownership. We can't.
Yeah, he does deserve it.
Go ahead.
What else is there to say about this shit? I mean, I think we've talked the horse is dead. We've got 154 people watching us fucking bitch right now. And we want to say thank you to all of you guys watching because without you, there would be no Bengals and Brews.
Derek would have done broke his other arm too.
Yes, he would.
Yeah, right.
And punch something else. But yeah, so I say like the front office is probably not going anywhere. That's just unfortunate reality. Right. Zach Taylor's probably not going anywhere. One move you can make, we've had poor defense for 2 years, and it's fire Lou. I'm not picking on Lou, and somebody's bringing up on Twitter, well, position coaches, they got to coach those players. Isn't Lou's part of his job should be to help fill out that staff? Now, who knows how this front office works? So it's legitimate. That question's fine. But at the same point in time, Lou, his job is to scheme and coach up these players and rotate them in and who plays when. And we're seeing guys come out there off the bench after all this time, barely, that are making plays, and they just sat over there. Why did you wait this long to make any changes? That's got to fall on Lou. And yes, Natty Ron, I agree. The front office gave Lou some bum players. But he had the best safety in the NFL. He had the best nose tackle. They should have never let them go. I will always say that and agree with that. But at the same point in time, does Lou have to have the best guys at their position for him to have an average defense? It's not like we ever had a top 5, top 10 defense with Lou. We had those playoff runs, and they were great, especially on defense. I'm not going to lie about that.
Right.
But when did we ever have a top 10 defense under Lou? We haven't, period, point blank. And they've given him resources in the fact they drafted, and you can say what you want. He has a hand in that. I don't care what anybody says.
Yes.
We've had coaches on here. They tell us that they get a more say than anywhere else. He's 8 picks in the first 3 rounds out of the last 10 picks in the last 3 drafts have gone to the defensive side of the ball. You can't tell me there's just no talent that you're drafting at all. It's your job to help coach these players up. You and the position coaches, they don't get a pass either. But why the fuck would anyone give Lou a pass at this point? And that's a move that realistically, feasibly can and should happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. And that goes into
nothing's going to happen because if it was, it would already happen.
Right.
Like after that loss last night, if there was any kind of change going to happen, it would have happened today.
Well, Dale, how surprised? Well, he's doing well in Pittsburgh. How surprised are you when we let Terrell Austin go in the middle of the season?
Yeah, he sucked. He sucked in Detroit.
Yeah, exactly. And now he's doing great with Pittsburgh right now.
Well, everyone seems to do great with Pittsburgh because you know why? They attack that defense. They know how to fucking draft well, and they know how to coach up their fucking players, and they know how to get good position coaches. They know how to do the right things as an organization. And they've got a guy in Mike Tomlin who's going to hold people accountable when they don't. There's a reason they've never had a losing season.
Yes.
And Zach's not that guy. He's not Mike Tomlin.
Nope, never will be.
No.
Never will be.
You know what'll be interesting to see? Oh, yeah. What'll be interesting to see is, remember at the beginning of the year when we ranked the NFL coaches?
Yeah.
That's true. Our ranker?
It'll be really fun to do that this offseason. Because I have a feeling that Zach is going to be pretty low.
Yeah.
I'm not lying, man. When I think about what needs to change, it's like Zach Taylor's like one of the last things that even comes to my mind. It starts with the defense and the offensive line with me, and maybe I don't know. Can you throw any on Marion Hobby too? Because the trenches suck on both sides.
Yeah, him and Frank Pollock on both sides of the ball. Yes, they get blamed. They don't get
Marion
passes.
Hobby, Frank Pollock, Lou Anarumo. I mean, what about Darren Simmons at this point too with the special teams? Because this shit ain't working. I mean, I know Darren Simmons been here since fucking Paul Brown opened the goddamn Bengals when he started it in 1967, but I mean, the fucking special teams is not doing great.
Yeah.
I don't think that Zach Taylor is at the head of the thing, but like if the Bengals are making calls behind his back and asking different people like Mike Vrabel, what's the guy? Slaya? What's his first? Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh, or fucking Bill Belichick, or whoever the fuck, man. If they're making calls behind there and seeing if they can get someone in here for Zach's salary that's a different, hey, I'm not opposed to it. Zach Taylor, I like Zach Taylor. He did a lot for the city. He took the balls out. He really connected with the city. Hey, kudos to him. But you know what I want? A winning fucking football team. I want a winning fucking football team, a team that I can count on. I want a team that makes me feel like I felt in this offseason going into this season.
Yeah, I want to get to this. Year. There's a couple people talking about Trenton Irwin, and I was pissed off before the game ever started when they go out and they add that Isaiah Williams to the 53-man roster. Why the fuck did we need a wide receiver? We said, returner-wise, Charlie Jones still going to be out. Yeah, okay, that makes sense because we saw how bad Trenton Irwin was against the Ravens. Then they go and they make the new kid inactive, and Trenton Irwin's still back there as the fucking punt returner.
Man, this is a hell of a statement from Elephant. I hate us more than the Steelers, to be honest.
Well, if you're going to be at the next game on December 1st, you're going to see a whole bunch of them fucking towels. They're going to take over that fucking stadium. Yeah. And I, personally, the smart thing to do would be to sell my tickets to – and you know who's going to buy them? Steelers fans, because their team's good and we're not. That's just the fact of the matter. But I'll be there, and I'm just praying that I can fucking not have to punch anyone in the fucking throat because – but what's the point, right? I just don't get my face, man. Browns fans, I've had worse experience with Browns fans.
Same here.
But I expect there to be a lot of Steelers fans. And when you feel like you're at a home game, that's going to be the closest thing to an away game I've ever been at, and it's going to be in Cincinnati.
Well, I mean, look at all the other stadiums, even with good teams, man. I think the Ravens game, you see terrible towels all over the freaking place. Like when Washington, you would have thought it was at the Steelers stadium. Huh? I mean, and Washington's a damn good team right now.
They travel well.
They do.
Well, they're going to travel real well because them fucking tickets went for sale today, man. I'll bet you. Hey, the good news is if you're on the waiting list for season tickets, you're going to get tickets next season. I don't give a fuck.
5 years.
They said that thing's 5 years deep. Fuck no. I'll bet you everybody on the waiting list gets an opportunity. Not that they'll take it because, I mean, let's just face it. We got all these fans now. It wasn't like way before. But we got a lot of fans when Joe Burrow came and started lighting it up. And now that we're losing, and people realize, if other people realize same thing that was realized by me, is that this is the front office and the Bengals have always been the Bengals. We just got bamboozled by good quarterback play. They're not going to want the tickets either. Going to call people on a waiting list like, hey, we got your spot. And be like, what? Oh yeah.
Well, I was already not renewing because the prices went up. I've talked about that on here. This is before all this losing. the price went up again, and it's gone up. It's almost doubled. It's almost doubled in the 4 years. You can see this was my season ticket member gift. This awesome $1 million sticker they sent us. It's got to be worth that much, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I've had season tickets for 4 years. There will not be a fifth, and that was cost wise. That's not about the product on the field, but I tell you what, the product on the field wouldn't make me want to renew them either if I was considering it at that price and thought maybe I could swing it, maybe I could, make the money work another year. I wouldn't do it with that product on the field because I'm just not. Fuck that. Like, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve my fucking money I worked my ass off for.
Mac is whack.
Mac is whack.
Yeah. I like it when somebody put last night, it's not money Mac, it's money back. Yeah.
Yeah. He might be giving that money back if he fucking messes any more kicks the rest of this year. But we know it's the Bengals, so we can't count on them to do that.
If people are gonna blame Ryan Rico on the hold or whatever, because I saw people saying stuff like that, like you can't just blame Evan because it's a whole new process and they work so hard on that. But where's Brad Robbins at right now?
Yeah.
I mean, he can hold the fucking thing. Guess what? Give up a roster spot and pull Brad Robbins in there if that's the fucking problem, and he can just be the holder. That's it.
But we can always look back at the Ravens home game, but when else have we seen a noticeable bad hold?
That's what I'm saying. Like
McPherson, these misses, it's not like the whole operation's just so bad, and it looks like he's had to change his whole setup. It looks like the setup's fine. And he gets plenty of leg into it, and he pulls it.
I mean,
and he pulls it again to the same place. Like
it looks perfect, but then it shakes the last second.
Well, it's in a fucking dome, so it wasn't like the goddamn wind blew it. That's
right,
all on
exactly.
Pearson. I'm just like, somebody was saying like last night the breakdown. I think it might have been even Jake Lisco, but I'm not sure. They were talking about. I don't want to say that. Well, probably wasn't him. But they were like, Rico was like looking back, wasn't even like paying attention for the snap with only 1 second left. He looked and he got the snap, and they were talking about something like that. It was just like the timing, not necessarily the hold, but somehow the timing. I don't know. But like I said, if that's the case, you got plenty of motherfuckers on the sideline that don't even get in on the game. Give one of them, give Brad Robbins one of their spots, and he can come in and just hold the goddamn football for Evan to kick it. If that's the issue. I mean, because last night, that could have won the game for us. How many games this year, if Evan was money Mac, what would our record be right now instead of what it is? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think we'd obviously maybe won a couple more, but who knows, right?
500.
Because even if we won that, even if he made one of those kicks last night, they still had time on the clock. Our defense, man, they crumble in the biggest moments.
They did last night.
They do. They have all season.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And last night, their defense, I don't know. I guess part of me just wishes that the whole game would have went like the first half. Because, I mean, if you're going to lose anyway, that second half of the game, what that did, that was a job-saving motherfucking second half right there, man. Because if Lou was on the hot seat and then they came back that second half and they played like they did, which was pretty good in the second half until the very end, then you're thinking, well, I don't know. Maybe Lou can do it. If he can flash here, maybe we can get him to harness it for the entire game. So I really do think that the way that they played the second half, and believe me, the offense played like trash in the first half too. It wasn't great. And
red zone, man, we could not getting those touchdowns early in that game, and that comeback to bite us in the ass, right? Even when you start humming a little bit and getting a rhythm, because you're inside the 10 twice and settle for field goals. Next thing you know, you're down 21-6 and 24-6 at halftime.
Yeah,
that quick.
Yep. We talked about it last week, and we talked about it on Friday, I think, and then they proceeded to show it on the pregame. The Bengals are ranked 31st on points against in the NFL in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, clutch moments. They turtle up, man. They're so bad.
Stranger says it's something about foot placement, plant foot placement, but that's on McPherson. But that's Ryan Rico's not fucking planting McPherson's foot.
Or that's on the coach if it is. Like, why is the coach not making sure that this timing is worked out by now? I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying.
What
That brings up the Darren Simmons
conversation. What you got, Greg?
So, a buddy of mine sent me this. I think I sent it to you guys too. This guy named Kelly Ford on Kelly Ford Ratings on Instagram. He says, "What if every one possession NFL game had the opposite result? The what if NFL standings? Guess who would have the best record at 8-2 right now?
Yep.
What if? I'm so tired. What if? What if?
Aren't the Kansas City Chiefs 9-1?
Yeah,
and they could have been they would have been closer to 500 or so.
Cincinnati would have the second best.
They said second best is Denver.
No, if the results flipped, every one possession game flipped from wins to losses and losses to wins.
Kansas City would be 2-7 right now.
I got to tell you, man, losing isn't bad for our ratings, though. Look at that. 179 people listen to us fucking bitch and moan about being stuck here rooting for a fucking team in Cincinnati where the ownership gives a fuck about us.
Yep. I don't know, man.
But we appreciate everybody coming here.
We do appreciate y'all.
If you could like and subscribe, you know.
You should like.
We're not normally like this. We promise.
I don't know. I am.
This season we are.
I'm normally not like this.
Speak for yourself, Derek.
I'm starting to feel like a Cowboys fan. You know, before the season starts, this is our year. We them boys, and then the first game of the year, we fucking suck.
That's me, man. I'm right back to where we were back in the 90s and the 2000s. It's like every year, it's next year. Oh, it's next year. It's next year. It's next year.
Yeah.
Well, this is such a prime window with Burrow and Chase and everything, and they really mismanaged it. And I've gone on here and I've talked about Lou and how, I do think they've given him at least draft picks, and it's still his job to coach them up. But I will say this. The front office, and I'm sure he gets a little say in who they bring in, but I do think the front office, this is when, and ownership, because you got to be willing to pay players in free agency, they have done an abysmal job. So here's the defensive additions the last 2 years. When we have come on here and talked about pushing the chips in and filling the holes and making sure you've got a nice deep roster to really try to get a 1 seed and try to win a Super Bowl while you've got this top talent there. I know it's hard to talk about now, but this is stuff we've talked about. And here's the guys they brought in on defense in 2023. Nick Scott, Sidney Jones, and Terrell Basham. That was the 3 outside free agent additions to help push this team over the top after you should have realized, hey, we lost Jesse Bates. And we never replaced Larry O either. Like they should have seen that stuff already and known that they needed to do better. And that's the pieces that they brought in to replace those guys. You can't replace good or average with shit.
Dale, when it came down to BJ Hill and Larry O, who did you want to resign out of those two?
Both. I mean, that's the thing, though. There's no need to have to pick one. We had plenty of money. They just don't always push their chips in, and they don't restructure contracts, and they don't do things. When you're in a Super Bowl window, you got to get a little creative, guys, and they refuse to get creative. They refuse to find ways to really add the top talent. They don't do it through trades. They don't do it through free agency, and they don't really do it through the draft because teams move up, down all the time. They don't let people jump in front of them one spot to take the player they really wanted and have to settle for their second option or third option.
Hey, here's our front office does that. It has to do with the draft. It's because him saying a top 10 pick would change everything. I don't think one player is going to change everything on this team right now. But if you were to pick one player picked in the top 10, let's say picking like between 7 and 15, Dale, one player that could change this defense.
Oh, for like this coming draft?
For this coming draft, yeah.
I mean, I love Abdul Carter. I mean, he's my 3rd overall player.
Penn State, right?
Yeah, Penn State edge. But the problem is he doesn't fit their size criteria. He's 6'3", 250, around 250. And every defensive end on their roster, they have a weird fascination with certain size profiles at certain positions. And it's so weird because they miss on top talent to fit that. every guy on the roster is between 6'3", this is at edge, at defensive end, between 6'3" and 6'5", and 260 to 270 pounds. They don't want you if you're not that. Clearly, because I looked and every guy is listed at that size. In between those, that is a very small parameter to have to place on a position. When you look around the league and you look at all these smaller, twitched up edge rushers that can go and get after the quarterback and win quick. And we don't have that. We've got Trey, who's just great, but nothing else around him on the edge. Like, Miles Murphy's a bigger guy. Like, I still believe in Miles Murphy, but at the same point in time, he wasn't an elite pass rusher coming out. They would rather have a guy that's like, well, look at his size. Okay, this is great. But give me the guy that can flat get after the quarterback, period. And we need interior pass rush too. So,
also, I really feel strongly that Trey holds out. I feel strongly that Trey holds out going into next season.
Well, they're going to have to pay him. He's not going to be
here. He's not going to be ton of money here to play after this season. He's going to demand a fuck ton of money to play, or he's gonna want to leave.
Yep.
And, so M followed up though. He said, you're talking about Abdul. You said Abdul Carter, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He says Mason Grant, or he or she. I don't know. M, you got to tell me.
Yeah. And we talked about him a little on here, the Michigan D tackle, and he's very good against the run, and his pass rush win rate on true sets is like almost 22%. That's great. So he can do both, and he would be great too.
Can we stop going after
probably won't have an opportunity at either of them, but
I'm just like, it hurts.
Why? Dax Turner looks like a fucking DJ Turner, Dax Turner. I combined the two.
Yeah.
But, DJ Turner looks like a star. And if anything, it looks like they mismanaged Dak by trying to put him at safety when he's always been a corner. And he was always a slot corner even in college. So
maybe
that's on the dumb coaching and the dumb front office to try to Zach Carter, who you guys know how I feel about him. But this man played edge at Florida, and we said, we're going to get you in here, make you add weight, and be a D tackle. It's going to work out. That's just, they think they're fucking smarter than everybody else. And they want to do these certain things that don't work out over and over and over and over. And they keep the same few scouts, same people. Like, mix it up, man. Get some new eyes in there. Plus, more guys that can spend more time on the road scouting, talking. Because it's not just when you go to a game, because people are like, well, they can watch all that online. They can watch that tape. Everybody can get that all 22 now. That's how people talk, I assume, on Twitter. I do that voice.
I do.
But you can't go be in the building and get to know these people and know their character. Shit, if you were there around Alabama enough lately, you probably wouldn't have taken Jermaine Burton. I could have told you that just from reading about the motherfucker. And you see it translate to the field. He looks like he could give a fuck less about anything when he's out there. That motherfucker don't really care.
Who's worse, the Reds or the Bengals? Hey, Reds made a coaching change finally, so I'm a little optimistic about the Reds going into next season. Like, let's see what happens.
They fucked around and gave us hope, and they seem to get good prospects, right? Ellie De La Cruz, Matt McClellan. Yeah. They seem to at least be able to do some of that. They just can't always keep it because they're cheap as fuck.
Right.
Well, I mean, they got Ellie, we got Joe. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But Dale, to go back to what you're saying, I mean, we have 6 or 7 scouts. Ravens have 30 or 40 scouts.
We're by far the lowest in the league. And you can use those guys to do so many things. It's not just about watching the tape. My eyes are better than everybody else, Go ahead, Greg.
But like I say, Ravens have 50 or 60 scouts. There's a reason the Ravens do good every year in the draft. There's a reason they do good every year. Like you just said.
But we don't have the cash flow, guys.
Yeah.
And what the fuck did we sell the stadium?
Fucking dollars doesn't have cash flow.
What did we sell the stadium naming rights for? They upgraded the stadium some. Is that it? They just put it right back into that.
That was for Joe Burrow's signing bonus, I think.
New locker room,
guaranteed cash.
How are you on the Forbes list and cash poor? Yeah. Now, I know there's people that are more into finances and stuff than I am, so you could probably give me a legitimate answer to that. But it's sad for us as fans. But it's sad for us as fans that that's the case, right? And we know there's things that they can do that they just don't. You don't have to roll over $10 million that goes into extensions that never come. How many years we've been rolling over $10 million? We should have an extra few $100 million laying around by now. I mean, for fuck's sakes. We've been hearing that shit for fucking 20, 30 years minimum.
Trevor brings up a good point that we've talked about before, is that says you boys think this is going to be a Carson Palmer deal with Joe. If nothing happens, he demands a trade. I see it.
We're starting to get worried about it. Yep.
Looks broken. Like, not on the field, but like at these press conferences, it looks like they're like, "Oh, Joe, your grandma died. Go give a press conference."
Oh, it was on the
like,
field.
"Wait, what?" And then he's up there like, "Oh, I mean, that dude, my heart hurt watching him give that press conference last night. He is so upset. There's no way he wanted to go out there and do that. He only did it so he wouldn't get fined."
Yeah. When the clock struck 0, and there's a video of this out there, and they're just showing like Joe Burrow walking around dabbing people up after the game, right? And you could just see in his demeanor that he was just freaking like,
he's sad.
Fuck this shit, man.
He's sad. He probably called his mom after that game. I'm not going to lie. He probably called Robin on the phone like, "Mom, I need some Snicker salad. This is bullshit. I need something to cheer me up. Make a Snicker salad. I'm coming home this weekend. It's our bye week. I need you to take care of me." He's probably at mom and dad's house right now. Mom's in there with chicken noodle soup. Like, "Joe, it's going to be okay." Rubbing his little frosty tipped hair. "You're going to be okay, baby." You know?
Yeah, stranger I know, for net worth, yeah, and not have cash. But I just, man, it sucks for us as fans, you know? It just sucks. It sucks so bad that we have to have the cash poor owner that because this is his only business. At the end of the day, that's what it is, right? Most of these other owners have other revenue streams and other
fucking Amazon or whatever the dude owns.
Jeff Bezos needs to buy the team, right?
Yeah.
There you go. He could afford.
Hey, Elon, we'll change it to Starlink Stadium.
Yeah. Ohio Game Talk
Elon
says
has some fucking weird shit going on in that place. Be weird.
To the moon, Dogecoin.
Can you imagine going into a fucking stadium that Elon Musk owned the fucking team?
It would be cool as fuck, honestly.
He would just change the names of the Bengals to be the Cincinnati X's.
Yeah. He'll just have it like with fucking rockets, and it'll be levitating over Cincinnati.
Oh my God.
Ohio Game Talk says, "I used to question why the Bengals get all this hatred, but now I get why." Yeah, it beats you down after a while, right? And then they usually come around and give us hope, or put lipstick on a pig, as Chop has also talked about with how we thought things were going and changes were being made, but they really never changed who they were at the end of the day. And when you start to see it, it's very hard to unsee it, because even in the good times, in the back of your head, you're going, "Oh, damn it, we didn't get the Super Bowl. Now we need them to really push all these chips in and make sure we're back there." And we made it to the AFC Championship. We still got Joe. Okay, we can still do this and push ourselves over the top this next year. And you go out and you get Nick Scott, Sidney Jones, and Terrell Basham to help your defense.
Well, at least this year and before the trade deadline, we got Khalil Herbert. How'd he do last night?
Yeah, great. That really helped the team,
Did he
that seventh-round pick for him. And using that instead of getting anybody with edge like Preston Smith that went to the Steelers, who's the kid from Denver, Baron Browning that used to play for the Buckeyes. They're just Denver stacked on defense, That's why they got rid of it.
Tina, yes.
Tina.
Elon buys the stadium, the escalators might work.
They would.
Yes.
Well, you can get a hover.
I was going to say, he going to have some shit, Greg, that makes you just like float up to your feet.
Exactly. Right. The escalator, you don't even need that.
Teleport.
Take a little hover up there.
Yeah, like he'll have teleportation up to the
Yes, like a drone, like a little drone you can sit down on or something.
Right. Yeah.
Elon Musk will have Paycor looking like the Jetsons.
Yes, it will.
Let's do it, boys. Let's do it. Come on, Elon. We need you.
Come on, Elon.
Get Elon Musk.
Well, all shit's based in Texas, so it probably don't make any sense.
When he went out, Twitter wasn't for sale either, but he made him a goddamn offer they couldn't refuse and bought Twitter just to fuck with people.
Elon, and maybe he just wants to have one just to have one. I want one of those too.
He could
get football people.
NFL.
Get football people to run the football operations. Oh my God, what a concept!
Bro, we just fixed the Bengals.
Yes.
Elon Musk is the answer.
Let's do
Clip
this.
that shit and post it on Twitter.
We could afford. Oh, Ben Johnson, we could afford. Oh, Ben Johnson, you're the hot candidate and offense coordinator. Boom, you're hired. Oh, Robert Saleh, you're a great defense coordinator. Boom, you're hired. Boom, position coaches. Anybody out there that's a position coach, you're going to make more money here than anywhere else. Hire him.
Hell yeah.
We're back on. Fire everyone. Get in. Well, he's a Squillish fan, Chen guy. Foxy said. Well, fuck it. There's other people that's like, if he don't have a chance to own part of that team, just buy this one. Yeah. He could make an offer that Mike Brown couldn't refuse. Steelers might not be so willing to sell theirs.
Exactly. The Roonies aren't going to do it, but I think he could get in there and make an offer to Mike Brown. Let's go.
Everybody gets a Tesla.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer is another cool guy because he owns the Clippers. I think he's got like Bill Gates type background with a lot of that shit.
Oh yeah.
But they were talking about it on the thing last night, that new stadium that he got built there for Los Angeles, and they even made like a fan section that you see in college football for the NBA. So the guy just gets it, and he brings the energy, man. I've talked about before. I can't see Mike Brown out here doing this shit.
Elon would be training players like Ivan Drago. I would have break you. I'd love to have that defense.
Oh yeah.
I will break you.
Although we did have someone similar. Who was it? The one Marcus Hunt. He was compared to Drago one time.
Yep.
Didn't work out.
It looked like a.
I really thought Marcus Hunt was going to work out, but
I didn't because he was already like 26 years old when we drafted him.
Yeah. And then we passed him. We passed the honey badger for him. So yeah, that didn't work out.
Yeah, that was just a fucking terror, and that was another one I wanted. Jesus Christ!
No.
Thanks for bringing that up, Greg. I just needed more pain on this Monday of pain. Thanks for giving me more pain.
I got some painkillers.
I'm going to start smoking crack. Why not? Why not? Never smoked crack.
I know a guy that has.
It might help.
I know a guy that has.
Yeah, where is Cedric Johnson?
We got 200 people watching right now. I guarantee you at least one of them smoke crack.
Well, Chop smoked crack.
Yeah, I smoke crack.
Yeah, Chop, you smoked crack.
Back in the day.
There you go. You got one on your show, Derek. Not just out of 200 people watching. You got one out of 4. 25% of the people on this show has smoked crack.
Yeah.
About to be 50%. Because these motherfucking Bengals about to make me start smoking some crack.
Right. I don't know where to get it anymore. That was a long time ago. As a matter of fact, I didn't even get it. My buddy Mark would run down there north side. So north side maybe.
I used to work down there.
Oh, maybe Mark was getting the crack from you.
Maybe.
I will say, and Ben Tucky raised his hand. He also smoked some crack.
All right, man. We might have smoked together. I don't know. I'd have to see his picture.
You guys wouldn't remember probably because you
probably not because we're fucked up on crack.
Because you smoke crack. You probably would not remember smoking crack because you smoke crack.
That guy looks familiar, but I was on crack.
Trevor said, "Stop snitching, Chump."
Oh yeah. You put in the thing. Oh, well, Mark passed away, so I can say that. Sadly.
Mark's dead. I'm allowed to snitch on Mark. Can't arrest him now.
Right. Ain't nobody gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, Derek. Sindustrial says Derek sells the whitest crack.
Yeah, he does.
That's pretty good. That's pretty funny.
That is pretty good.
You're right.
And then Ross never smoked crack, but did lots of blow back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, I have a checkered past.
You also did a little booger sugar?
Might have had a little bit. I didn't know.
Never tried that either. I always thought that would be interesting, but
I'm not going to tell you it's not fun.
Oh, I actually did. And Andrew says you should do a show on players we passed on in the draft. I did last year. I couldn't tell you which episode that is. We've done so many.
Right.
But yeah, that's something that Dustin Cross asked us to put together. I think it was over last summer. It could have been the summer before. We've done so many daggone shows. But yeah, we might revisit that because summertime, there's a lot of downtime to just no actual games to talk about. So
and
yeah,
the
you guys,
season starts early, boys.
Yeah, and if you guys give us things to, topics, especially when it gets, in the actual off season, even though it feels like it is now because 4-7. But
to be fair, Kane, when they were talking about the whitest, they were just talking about straight Coke, not crack. Because Kane was reminding us that crack has a yellowish tint.
Oh,
that's true. That's why I got the yellow tint.
I was about to say.
Remind me. Every actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, even this Coke Zero has a somewhat of a yellow tint to it. What the fuck is going on here?
Yes, but Tony Blaze says just say no to drugs. So yes, for all the kids that listen to this show because their parents are bad parents, just say no to drugs. Kids.
Yeah. It's not an endorsement.
It's not an endorsement.
This is a learn by my mistakes. Learn by my mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
No, it's not good for you.
But if you were to do it, this Bengals team would definitely push you over that edge.
Well, Chop probably wouldn't even want to do stuff like that now with all his fentanyl, just saying. So that's a good reason not to do it because your ass could easily die with the fentanyl. Yeah.
Like people come into my job all the time. We drug test them and they'll be positive for fentanyl. And they'll be like, I didn't do no fentanyl. Like, well, yeah, you did. It's here.
And it shows us right here that you, right.
Which is so odd to me that they would cut cocaine with fentanyl or meth with fentanyl, but they do. Like, it's two different things. Whatever. But anyway, Bengals. Yeah, who they?
We kind of broke into, we were able to smile for a few minutes at the end of this. So at the end of the day, that's what is supposed to be fun about this
crack
show.
Brought a smile to our face, didn't it?
Doris said, don't endorse drugs, just beer, barbecue, and T-shirts.
That's true.
You can go get all three of those things between the three sponsors. Right, Greg?
Yeah.
Oh, you
didn't say it in the names. I was waiting.
Midwest. Well, I said it before. Midwest Best.
I know,
Midwest
the podcast
beer.
listeners.
Proud for the podcast listeners. Proud sponsor of the show. I did the start of the show, but I'll re-say it again because we're up to 204 viewers. Go to these two places. They're amazing as hell. I just had a 50 West burger over the weekend, and their fry sauce is. I've never done crack in my entire life.
50 West.
But if I did, fries, there has to be crack and fry sauce. It's that good.
Greg, as long as we're talking about 50 West, they're coming to they're catering one of the games.
Yes, the Cleveland game, December 19th. They will be catering.
We're going to have cheeseburgers.
And speaking of Cleveland, my Cleveland Cavaliers, your Cleveland Cavaliers, our Cleveland Cavaliers are 15-0, boys. The train keeps rolling.
Cleveland. I'm just like, I'm not.
I was watching the end of that game. Like I went from pure joy to them going in 15-0. Like that game was ending as ours was starting, so they overlapped slightly. Just so it's like joy, pain. They overlapped right away. Then I ended with pain. I ended up staring at my ceiling till like 1 a.m. Wasn't 3 this time, so that was a positive. Yeah.
Who was the Bengal player that loved smoking crack back in the day? Wasn't that Stanley?
Stanley.
Who was the guy that before the Super Bowl was pissing?
I think it was Stanley Wilson. Yeah.
What was his name?
Wilson.
That's the one, right?
Almost said Stanley Morgan. It's like, man, sorry, Stanley Morgan. You seem to be a great guy. So
he couldn't play the Super Bowl. The one that Tim Krumrie broke his foot in, he couldn't play the Super Bowl because he was like high on crack, pissing in an alley, and he got fucking arrested for public indecency.
But
speaking of arrest, this is one I was going to mention here. Pac-Man arrested for the 100,000th time.
Also,
it's a new record.
Fuck Pac-Man. Not a fan. He was a dick. My wife was a bartender. He was a complete asshole to her.
Well, guessing he's not going to be on Friday. Had him scheduled, but not now.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time
He did say he was going to come on before and then ghosted me, so fuck him.
Yeah.
And he slid in my wife's DMs on Instagram.
I was going to say, he didn't ghost your wife.
Yeah, he ghosted me, but not my wife. Fuck you, Pac-Man.
Yeah. Motherfucker. Yeah. Fuck that guy.
So that's fine.
I mean, could she get him on the show for us?
She could probably do a lot of things with him. I don't fucking know. I don't want to fucking know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's we got a bye week, so I don't fucking know. I mean, we can't like be completely miserable with the loss next weekend, but at the same point in time, it just sucks. It's hard for me to even watch like other football games, like the NFL. I just, it's like, oh, Ravens Steelers playing, and it's like if it mattered, I would care. It did not feel like that was going to matter, and well, it doesn't for us.
Ohio Game Talks. Perfect is the last jersey I bought. I
like Perfect too.
You guys like Perfect. Yeah, I like Perfect too.
The thing I don't like about Pac-Man is nothing that happened on the field. It's the off-field. And Perfect never got in trouble off-field. All his aggression was on the field, right? I don't remember him ever getting in trouble off the field, did he?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
I don't remember anything. Pac-Man's just a dick. That's him in real life. He's a fucking prick. Perfect was a prick on the field.
Which we need more pricks on the field, to be honest.
How would you like to have Perfect right now? He would be fucking going off on these guys, man.
Yeah, like y'all just took a shot on Burrow. Wait till your quarterback gets on the field.
Your quarterback's about to get fucking killed.
I mean, I know you don't want to see players get hurt, this, that, and the other, but I don't want to see my quarterback, Joe Burrow, get hurt either. So you need somebody that can step up and say, yeah, enough of this shit.
When Perfect played, it wasn't necessarily how good he was on the field, which don't get me wrong, man. Perfect was very good.
He was different era. He's
but what
he's Hall of Famer potentially. Fringe.
I like
different
when
era.
he stepped on the field, the whole defense had a swagger. You know what I'm saying? They had a swag. We don't have that swag right now. We are lacking swag.
As a diehard Geno Atkins fan, he was my favorite player in that era. But when Perfect was off the field, the whole defense changed. Even when Geno was on the field, Geno Atkins is a Hall of Famer. He is.
Oh yeah,
he's
incredible.
But no, when Perfect was off the field, the whole defense would change if he got hurt or something. So yes, Perfect. Geno Atkins was a better player, but Perfect was the leader on that defense.
Yeah, he does dress nice.
Wes Huday there says Thurman was a dog. He just did dumb shit off the field. Yeah, I mean, he had an alcoholism problem, right? He was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And ultimately it cost him his career after one incredible season. I mean, and that, speaking of jerseys that we bought of a player, I bought the jersey of Odell Thurman that year of his. I loved him, man. He was amazing on the field. And then, so I don't think I have that jersey anymore, but that'd be a collector's edition. I plan on playing that one season.
Dale, look at that draft year. David Pollock, Thurman, Chris Henry. I mean, Pollock, it just a freak injury just happened. I mean, all three of those guys.
Talent-wise, that was an incredible talent-wise draft.
And no, we had Jonathan,
and an all-time what-if draft.
And no, we had Jonathan Fanene, who was decent for us. He was a 7th-round pick also that year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
And Duke Tobin probably drafted them because he's been here for 83 years.
What the fuck we going to do on Friday with no game coming up? We're going to preview.
I know. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Hookers and blow. Might just go on here and have hookers and blow and live stream.
My Christmas.
Speaking of hookers and blow, you guys ever read the book Hookers and Blow Save Christmas?
I did read the book Hookers and Blow Save Christmas.
Maybe we'll just have Chop come on here and read us the book Hookers and Blow Save Christmas.
Hookers and Blow Save Christmas. It's getting close to Christmas time.
You never know. What will happen on here.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy because Chris Henry Jr. is Natty Ron put Chris Henry Jr. will be a Bengal. Well, he is scheduled to be an Ohio State Buckeye. We'll see if that commitment holds. I think he's still got even another year after this one before he becomes a freshman. It's crazy how long that kid's been getting recruited. Oh. But then also, we were talking about Odell Thurman. His son Jelani Thurman is a tight end for the Buckeyes. So, a little fun fact there with some of the guys we were talking about.
This industry says our Friday show could be beard maintenance with BSG.
I don't think Greg's going to be on Fridays. Greg's going to start taking some Fridays off, guys, because he's a homosexual.
That's true.
That's his day to have homosexual sex,
right,
man.
And
we support him. I'm not saying anything bad about that.
Yeah, I'm very supportive.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, Greg will still be on with us on Mondays and Fridays, and we'll figure it out, man. We'll have fun. We'll figure something out, Chop. I don't know. Might read Hookers and Blow Save Christmas.
Hookers and Blow Save Christmas. Yeah.
But yeah, I got nothing else. Anybody got anything else they want to end this one with?
Man, I didn't have anything coming in here.
Me neither. Good point.
I mean, fucking an hour and
13 hour and 15 minutes
seconds later.
To be fair, I had some PFF grades, so see, I didn't completely do nothing, but that was about it.
Let's see. I got something on a piece of paper. What is it? Oh, it's the pub.
The pub.
The pub.
Is that where you went to eat?
Yeah, it is. Like we pick 3 restaurants, put them in a hat, shake it up, and we pull one out, and that's where we go.
Did you also pull out later that night?
That's a story for later.
Oh, Chop's still doing good, boys. Woohoo, Chop. Proud of you.
It ain't a good
story. I know you didn't. Oh, it's not a good story?
No.
Oh, son of a bitch. Now I'm disappointed.
Might have been some passing out going on.
Yeah, man. Thurman was the man. Oh, you were getting...
Thurman is the player that I use as an example all the time about how much the fucking NFL hates the Bengals, because if Thurman was on a different team, he might have played in the league for a longer time. Look at what the fuck was the guy from Cleveland who got fucking let go from the league?
Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon, right? Yeah.
I mean, Josh Gordon and Odell Thurman. Come on, man. Odell Thurman had a drinking problem. Like a few times he got in trouble. Josh Gordon was constantly suspended from the league for their drug policy.
And then
we still come back and play.
We appreciate saying good show, Trevor. But most importantly, brother, whatever's going on, thoughts and prayers your way, and I hope it all works out. Life does get tough for all of us. And I'm talking outside of this, game, this sport that we're talking about. So definitely everybody try to keep your mentals up in life, just in general. That's PSA for the day. Because it's not easy, and I've had my struggles with mental health and depression and anxiety and stuff. So
instead of a sticker next year, the Bengals need to hand out Zoloft.
I'm already season ticket. Well, I'm already on that.
There you go. Well, maybe they could up your dose.
Yeah, I don't try to up my dose. If anything, I usually try to.
Right. I thought we were going to be busy as fuck last night. Psych emergency, man. The suicidal ideations, but everybody stayed home. Thank you.
And Girth says Greg hasn't removed his shirt in a while, and I blame the piss poor football. That's true. We have been missing out on shirtless Greg because of piss poor football.
Yeah, sorry, Girth.
Look, you're not alone, Dale.
Yeah, man. I didn't realize how bad my anxiety was until I literally was shaking, driving type stuff, would just feel like I had to pull over because I was in my own head so bad. So it honestly has been huge for me, man, because if I would have kept going with that anxiety, who knows, I could have gotten a wreck or anything could have happened. I just don't think, and I don't want to ever be a proponent of I should be on meds, this, that, and the other, but it does help some people. So if you're struggling with stuff in general, I'm not going to say hey, it didn't help me. I'm just telling what's happened for me, it's
well, not only that, but to be honest, I just named Zoloft, since Zoloft is not the only antidepressant out there.
Right. Yeah.
And just like they make 1,500,
and you got to find ones. Yeah, and you got to find one that works for you.
1,500 different blood pressure medications, and when your doctor puts you on blood pressure medication, it's a trial and error to see which one works best for you. And it's the same thing with antidepressants. Trial and error. They give you one, it doesn't work. They try another one. Eventually, hopefully, they find something that works.
Yeah, and Evan McMisson, which I like that name, Wade. That's pretty good. Evan McMisson gives me anxiety, although it's very difficult to say as I kept messing it up there. So
Evan
I will have trouble saying
that.
Yeah, I was struggling with
Evan
that.
Evan McMisson. See, that's what I'm talking. Real talk. We spun this bitch all the way around from fuck the Bengals front office. We talked about smoking a little crack, and now we're back to telling everybody. Now we're fixing everybody's mental health. This is a wholesome all-around show. This is like the department store of shows. Take you around.
You never know. You never know what you're going to find,
what are they
right?
Talking about today?
It's like a flea market of podcasts. Right, you know? You go and you don't know what you're going to find.
Like
you
might
find
of flea market.
Crazy.
It's the kind of flea market though they set up out fucking in the fucking redneck towns where it's out in the parking lot. Like they just get in the parking lot and set up fucking tables.
Hey, there's buildings. Now you're taking that prime example from the one that is closest to me that I sent you pictures of. You're personally attacking me with that. Right. There is a lot of people out there doing that because they let people pay to set up out there their own stuff. But they also have 3 buildings there, Chop. So it's kind of big time. It's kind of big. Yeah. Shout out Southbound 23 Flea Market, okay?
Right.
You get the one free shout out from me. That's all I got, man. So we've kind of hit it all today.
Right.
And are you a Tyrannosaurus that says "rawr"? Rawr. Jesus.
Yeah.
Rawr. Because I imagine that is how a sexual.
Hey there, skank booty. Check my fit after that loss, America. Skank booty.
Yeah.
Skeet, skeet. Oh, that's Dave Chappelle.
Trevor said he's been watching from the beginning, BSG, but you're starting to look like a terrorist.
Hey, Dwayne, man, you guys are
honestly. I think a terrorist is better than a pedophile. So now that you have a beard,
right? Nobody thinks you're going to rape their kids now when you're walking down the road. They just like think you're going to maybe car bomb them.
Yeah, right. It's different.
I mean, you want that?
You give people a different uneasiness, Greg. It's just a different uneasiness.
Right. But, nobody wants to have people think they're raping kids.
That's true. No one wants to think that. Yeah. All right, guys, this has been a wild, interesting show.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, man, as fans, all we can do is hope that things improve and change and vent our frustrations and hang in there together and support each other as humans, even, if we have a tough time supporting this fucking team because they suck so fucking bad right now. But I appreciate y'all. You all are the best. And it will, Elephant, always be Who Day. It'll always be Who Day, even though it's everybody. But, hey, we still going to keep saying Who Day. That shit ain't changing. That's just what we say. Right. So I do appreciate and love you all. You guys are absolutely the best, the Brew Crew, man.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys usually make things a lot better. I could be really down in the dumps, get on here, and I usually feel better at the end of the day.
Right.
And Money Mac is broken Matt there on X. So we talked about that a lot. Yep. You can always check us on YouTube and go back and watch that. Even at the beginning, it should be on there, but talked about it 3-4 times really. He's 71% field goal percentage right now is bottom 5 of the NFL. So he does feel broken right now.
Yards. What's the percentage beyond 50?
I don't know. I didn't
1%.
It's not. It can't be good.
Look at this. The Walmart Bengals show.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get a little bit of everything there, man.
That's right. All right,
man. Oh, no worries, man. I wanted to let you know that in case you do want to go back on YouTube and check it out because we are about to end this one because we've already ran 20 minutes late. But I appreciate you tuning in at all, man. You guys are freaking awesome, man. And Who Day, everybody.
Who Day.